Good morning, everyone. Nice to see you this morning. Welcome to our Thursday morning gathering brought to you by Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare and Tufts Health Plan. And this is a place where we invite experienced mindfulness instructors to speak with us about what mindfulness means to them and to discuss as a community how we can incorporate these practices into our daily lives. I'm Suzanne Rowe, Palacino, and I am so happy to be here with all of you, as well as with my friend Tara Healey, founder and director of Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare's mindfulness program. Good morning, Tara.
Good morning, Suzanne, and good morning, everyone. Nice to see you joining.
Yeah, so nice to have everyone here this morning. So if we have anyone new, a special welcome to you. So nice to have you here, and hopefully you'll be joining us regularly. And so happy to have our regulars here and to see all of your names joining this morning. It brightens my day. And so to explain to anyone who hasn't been here, Tara will start us off with a question for the group. And then we'll have an opportunity to answer the question through the chat. And then she'll lead us in at least a 12-minute meditation practice that will be a mixture of guided practice as well as some silent time. And after that, we'll have time for questions. So if you go to the bottom of your Zoom screen, open up the chat function. And with that, you can go down to the bottom of that screen and choose the blue drop-down menu says hosts and panelists and change that to everyone. And everyone can see your comments as you type them in. And so as we begin, Tara, what is the question that you want to share with us this morning?
Yeah. So Suzanne and I were talking right before we opened the Zoom, and with all of the really tragedies happening in the world, all around the world, more recently in Maine, but the Middle East. I mean, it is so incredibly overwhelming what's going on. And so I've been thinking a lot about just like, what are the kinds of mental qualities do I want to be sure I'm cultivating, that I'm bringing forth in the world? And, the idea of being kinder. But the one word that has been coming to me a lot is generosity, and really thinking about that in terms of, in a broad way too, not just in a more kind of traditional way of like giving a gift, but that too. But that the idea of like I'll say, put it in quotes, like a gift could be a number of things. It could be letting somebody in the grocery store line with fewer things behind you go first. Like so I started thinking about it in a really broad way. And so the question is really around that. It's, like, think of a time when you've been the recipient of a gift or you've given a gift, and what kind of feeling does that evoke in you? What does that, there's something around, kind of our shared vulnerability and our shared humanity. And this idea of gift giving really puts us in a kind of like benevolent relationship with another human being. But I really have been thinking just a lot about that. And yeah, so that's my question really, is think of a time when you've been the recipient of someone's generosity, and think of generosity in a really broad way, or that you have been generous. And, what does that bring up in you? And is the feeling the same? Maybe sometimes it is and sometimes it isn't, but like what, as we think through mindfulness practice, that we are cultivating pro-social qualities of mind. We're seeing those qualities in our minds. We're seeing our habit patterns, those that are useful and good, and those that are more challenging. And really working to incline our mind toward those qualities that are useful, pro-social, and also not being hard on ourselves. So, Suzanne, I mean, Yeah, so go ahead and start populating the chat, and then Suzanne, how about if you say a little bit, and I can do the same.
Yeah. Yeah. So important to look at life this way. I think it can really help to evolve our mindset from dealing with a lot of this heaviness. So I appreciate the question. And the first thing that came to my mind is there's a gentleman, homeless gentleman that stands near Storrow Drive in Boston. And if you're coming off the Mass Pike going into the city, and he directs traffic and takes donations. And he is just a ray of sunshine in the morning. And I open up my window and I wave to him and say good morning. He said, "Good morning, sunshine." And he recognizes me. I don't know why, because I'm not drive through there that often, but I give him money, and he just brings me so much joy to see him, because he's not always there when I drive through, but he just gives me a sense of joy that he's taking his life on just the way it is, and bringing people happiness. So
yeah,
comes to mind. Yeah. So how about you?
Yeah. Gosh, I think of, as I've been thinking about this question, I have, there's just so many examples of kindness that, especially even during the pandemic, because I live alone, and thinking of the kindness of my coworkers and, coming out, checking in on me, like just, really the feeling was, that I'm not alone, that I have this community of people that care, and of course my family, too, but that stays with me. And then, the other is that I usually see my mom once a week. So and it takes me about an hour to get out there and an hour to get home. And even though she won't remember the visit, when she sees me, she brightens, and she doesn't necessarily know I'm her daughter, but she knows I'm her person somehow. So it's sort of like I feel so much joy in seeing her light up, and just this idea that we're all holding each other in different ways, and it's this incredible reciprocal relationship of support. So yeah.
That's lovely. That's lovely. Yeah. I love both of those. People can take care of one another during different times in our lives. So that's wonderful. Yeah. Loretta doing something nice, feeling good, doing something nice, depending if it's received well, that you're surprised and saying you shouldn't have. Yeah. And Lisa, my heart felt like it was the way it was meant to be. Yeah, it does. It gives you a special feeling, for sure.
Yeah. And I think too, really paying close attention to the motivation or the intention. It's really interesting thing to do that too, especially as a giver. Are you expecting something in return? It's all good to just see, not to judge yourself for it, but just to see. Yeah.
I love Eric's comments too about the gift can feel profoundly, the feeling of receiving the gift can feel emotional,
Yes.
bonding, even divine, if it's a really thoughtful or meaningful gift. Yeah. Feeling of abundance.
Yeah.
Gratitude that I didn't have to remind myself of. That they're helpful. Yeah. Sincere gratitude.
Yeah. It is this giving and receiving, this benevolent is the word that comes to me, relationship between two people or more, could be. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I love having those people that you work with that will always be there with an extra smile, a ray of sunshine.
Yeah.
And inspires you to do the same.
Yes, it does. It does. Yep.
Yeah, and I feel like on the road, like you mentioned, and people on the road, I feel like when I let somebody in, I always, in a place where people aren't letting people in,
Yes.
always seem to see someone do the same behind me. It's
I
just happens.
agree.
I
And
feel,
even Suzanne, because I know the guy you're referring to at Storrow Drive. Like
yeah,
I used to see him a lot when I'd go into Cambridge. He is so incredibly joyful, but I would give him money and then notice the cars behind me doing the same. So it like inspires more goodness. And it's
yeah,
not about the amount or, it's the act of generosity itself. Yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Great
let's go ahead
question.
and, yeah. All right. So let's move into practice. So either standing or seated, even lying down, but if you're tired, I would say probably not lying down. And just establish your posture so that you are sitting in a way that's upright and engaged, with a spine that is straight but not stiff. And see if you can surrender your weight into the support of the ground beneath, into the support of the earth, really knowing that the earth can hold you. So allowing the body to soften in, yet maintain that spine that's engaged. And take a couple deep breaths as a way to settle in and settle any surface tension. And make any micro movements so that you feel settled and grounded to the degree that you're able. And letting go of all that has happened so far today and releasing anticipation of what's to come. But allowing the mind and the body to join together in this moment. Feeling the impact of the morning's activity on the body and noticing what sensations are making themselves known to you. So, full body awareness, noticing the points of contact with the back of the body and the surface, even aware of the touch of the clothes to the skin, as subtle as that might be, making a note of that. And really feeling rather than thinking, but really feeling into it. And then noticing pulsing, vibration, temperature, tingling. What is your body offering you this morning? And let's take a moment to expand awareness to include sound in the room or outside of the room. Just making a soft mental note hearing. And bringing awareness back inward, allowing sound to come and go in your background as it will, not a problem. Bringing awareness back inward. And let's move, we're going to sweep attention through the body. And just as we do that, noticing different areas of the body that might be offering a sensation or lack of sensation, softening particular areas that you notice where there might be some holding or tightness. So this time we'll start at the feet. So bringing awareness to both feet, soles of the feet, the toes, the top of the feet, heels, isolating this region of the body and noticing sensation or lack of sensation. Let's go ahead and sweep awareness now upwards over the lower legs, the calves and the shins, softening as we move through the regions of the body and noticing. And coming up to the knees, and the thighs, hips, and sweeping up around the torso, moving awareness down the arms, both the left and the right, so including the shoulders, the upper arms, forearms, and hands. As we do so, just releasing any holding to the degree that you can, and moving now up around the neck and the back of the head, the sides of the head, the top of the head, and finally coming down over the face. So forehead and eyes, nose, cheeks, jaw, mouth and tongue, and softening to the degree that you can, the jaw, the area around the eyes. And releasing that. And let's look for an anchor to assist with the wandering mind, something that can help stabilize the wandering mind. Of course, we're not trying to stop thought. We're just seeing that when a thought has slipped in, unnoticed, and then is noticed, we're just simply very gently, easily releasing it and returning to a stabilizer of some sort. So that could be the breath sensation that you feel anywhere in the body where it's most pronounced. So as you breathe in and out, where do you feel from the inside the inhalation and the exhalation most prominently? Could be the rise and fall of the belly, abdomen. It could be that you're noticing it in the chest, upper chest, or nostrils, or just generally feeling the movement somewhere else. And alternatively, if breath is challenging for you today for any reason, you can always use something else. It could be the palms of your hands resting on the top of your thighs, that point of contact, what that feels like. It could be a consistent sound in the background. You can also touch your hands to each other, cupping the hands together and that point of contact. So take a half a minute or so to find the thing that's going to help stabilize that you can return your attention to over and over again. Noticing where the mind is, releasing the memory or planning, whatever narrative has slipped in. Allow the body to soften and simply return to your anchor. And as we bring this meditation to a close, may we be peaceful and at ease. May our heart be soft and open. May we be safe and protected, and our bodies healthy and strong. And whatever benefit comes of our practice, may it be a benefit to all beings. And as you feel ready, if your eyes were closed or if they were open, take a moment to open and just reorient to the room that you're in.
Thank you so much, Tara.
Of course, yeah. So we do have, some time to share resources. So any books or apps that you've come across that you have found hopeful or inspiring or interesting, please feel free to share. If you have any questions, actually there is a book, I thought I had it close by, that I'm absolutely loving. And it's called Alfie and Me. And I think the author is Carl Safina, but he rescues a screech owl. And a screech owl, I didn't realize this, they're only about 5 inches tall, but talk about generosity and reciprocity. The relationship they have is so profound. So it's called Alfie and Me. I don't know if anybody's read it or heard about it. I know, hang on, because I want to show you the cover because it's so neat. I know it's around here somewhere.
Yeah, someone else, Lila, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, someone else has shared that on the Calm app.
Oh, okay.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see the book again, Tara.
Okay.
What a great, yeah, sounds lovely.
It is so good. I think he's a practitioner. I think just how he writes and how he thinks about the connection. Because in these morning sessions, we talk a lot about nature and the value of nature. So that's all woven in here as well. And it's funny because I was in a bookstore recently just asking the owner if she knew of any books that were really uplifting and hopeful. And it is actually hard to find.
Yeah.
There's a lot of books that just have a lot of hard stuff. And I mean, of course they're out there. There are books that are uplifting and hopeful, but so I'd read somewhere about this. I don't know, it might have been New York Times, I can't remember, but I've been on a wait list for a long time I use the library all the time. So it finally arrived, and it's just a pleasure to read. And a lot of it too woven in is just the mystery of our connection with nature. Yeah, really good.
Yeah. And yeah, it's I've been looking for the same types of books, and I don't know if anybody has read Remarkably Bright Creatures, and it's fiction about a woman's relationship with an octopus and an
Yes.
aquarium that she works in. Yeah, and it's so, it's really a sweet story. We read it for my book club, and it was just, yeah.
It's not Cy Montgomery, is it? Is it?
No.
No, okay. Because she just wrote one too, which is really, really good. I read that one as well, just because, again, looking for the positive. And
yeah. I can't remember the name of the author, but it's been hugely.
Yeah, no, I think I've heard of it, Suzanne, but I haven't read it. Thank you for that.
Yeah, and a lot of the dialogue comes from the octopus, which is
wow.
how amazingly connected
Yeah.
they are and smart. Yeah, so good recommendations. Reading Loretta's share.
Oh, St. Francis. Yeah.
Yeah, oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, that is really lovely. Yeah.
Yeah, we do have to be patient with ourselves.
Yes.
For sure. Well, thank you for everyone engaging in the chat in such a way. It's so helpful for all of us. And
Yeah.
Tara, we love your question. It's a good way
Oh,
to start the
good.
day. Really.
Yeah, no, I mean, gosh, like it's possible to have the littlest impacts by small gestures of generosity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Jamie's sharing about an eye condition.
Oh,
Oh,
wow, wow,
yeah.
wow. Well, oh, wow. That has,
Oh,
oh, Jamie, thank you.
yeah, that's amazing. Think about
Yes.
these donor programs. That is truly amazing.
Yeah, which my brother-in-law, my sister's husband, Brad, received a kidney from his college roommate about 8 years ago. And the fact that they were a perfect match it still gives me chills. That kind of generosity. Jamie, thank you. Wow.
Yeah,
Really.
all the best with that. I hope it all continues to heal beautifully. Oh,
Yeah.
good luck. All right, Tara. Well, thanks for being
Yeah.
here as always. And it's nice to
Yeah.
be
So
back
good
with
to be
you.
with everybody. Really. I mean, these sessions feel more important than ever, just given the state of the world, and that there's so many of us that want to incline our minds in this particular way.
Isn't
Yeah,
that a good sign in itself?
it is. It is.
So it's very hopeful way to think
Yeah.
about things. So,
Yeah.
well, wishing everybody a good end to the week.
Yeah.
We'll be here next week with Christine. Christine O'Shaughnessy will be here on Tuesday. So that's
Oh,
wonderful.
great. Great.
Well, thank you all, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Right. Take care. Bye-bye.